brakes.
Okay. Hand twice?
No, once. Front right of this car here, and on the front right we have the nut for the ball joint that is missing. So the control arm was down and the whole rest of the suspension was out and hit pretty hard against the fender and pushed the fender back, so that's really sign of the forward hit. And what is bizarre is that the control arm seems actually to be in very good shape. No bend whatsoever in the control arm. So I wonder if I lost the castle nut here. The control arm fell down, and on the bump the suspension fell and the wheel got cocked in. See, there's a pretty good impact here. So it could also be of the post-impact when we landed in the hole, but there is what's bizarre is that there is no damage to the control arm, which means that this whole part here didn't pull the control arm. If we look at the other side, on the driver's side here, let me take a flashlight. Here, the control arm was still attached when we had the impact, and the control arm is completely broken, U-shape and stuff, and ripped through. So if I try to look at the bottom here, the ball joint is still attached to the knuckle, if you can see it. Yep. And here I'm not sure if the bottom of the ball joint is broken or not. Doesn't look like it, but this one was definitely attached at the moment of the impact, and it pulled really hard on it. So the steering rod is bent, and not even sure. The sway bar end links broke pretty easily, so I'm not sure actually the sway bar has issues, but we can definitely see the control arms over there is in rough shape. So very suspicious of what happened here, that the wheel that was completely locked up left marks everywhere, and there's just a castle nut missing on the ball joint, but everything else looks intact here, which is really bizarre. The wheel here on impact also got damaged, but not as destroyed as the other side. That's what's left of the front left wheel. That's the one that took the biggest impact. And you can see the rock here that what he hit and took the chunk of the wheel off. So this is the front right wheel. You can see it didn't get too much damage here, just from the final impact, but the tire was otherwise still on the rim, so there is no sign of debead or anything like this. And on the inside here, the rim failed on impact, but otherwise everything, the wheel was still properly attached. There was no problem. Even this one had no issue. So what's in here? The left tire got pretty cut either by the rim or by the impact with the rock. But otherwise, the tires is actually pretty good given the size of the impact. So here is a look at the front damage. So skid plate took most of the hit in the front. There is the lower radiator support that has been pushed in and back. The subframe took a hit there, and you can see the mark on the skid plate from the rock that has been hit. The main impact that was on the left wheel got taken by the control arm and the wheel. So way on the outside, you can see the bent steering tie rod there. Otherwise, on the right-hand side, everything is fine. The control arm is fine. There was just that nut that is now on the ball joint was missing. So that's why I think I just lost this nut, and the control arm fell off and the wheel got caught in the back. You can see here the impact from the wheel on the fender. And if we look on the outside, the fender took a wheel hit by the wheel there, and we had absolutely no impact on that side, so that would be consistent with this wheel getting off the control arm and getting cocked against the fender here. On the side, absolutely no damage here. Going back under, so if I look here, there was a small impact from a rock behind the skid plate. Everything else was protected by the skid plate. There is the stinger part of the skid plate has been ripped off when we got the car off the wood. The same thing, the CV axles popped out from the gearbox when we were trying to drag the car up from the mountain. Here, so the control arm, you can see, is twisted, which is consistent, and it's towards the back, which is consistent with the forward impact with the wheel attached to the control arm. And here, it's really the fact that the control arm has absolutely nothing, and there is such an impact to the wheel, means that the control arm was probably detached from the wheel before the impact. And that's probably what caused the off-road excursion. Otherwise, the rest of the car has absolutely nothing. The underbody protection has nothing. The exhaust didn't even take a hit. So all the impact was really at the front. You can see here, those are from previous rallies, the impact on the back exhaust there. Has nothing to do with this one. And here, otherwise, no damage. We removed the bumper to make it easier for the wrecker crew to remove the car from the hill. But rim bumper has nothing. The front bumper, which is upside down here, has just lower damage here, where we had the initial impact. But otherwise, the rest of the bumper is in one piece. So the bumper beam bar is pretty much intact, except of course, the bottom where there was a hit in the front. So the good news is that the chassis had absolutely nothing. It didn't move. Just the this bumper radiator support here that is bent and pushed back. But if I look from the top, the fans just stop in front of the cover here, and the fan here is just rubbing against the belt. That might be when I moved things to at the bottom, but nothing else got touched here. Whole engine and everything is framed. There's no sign of any pinching anywhere on the frame, top and bottom. Here in the front, if we look under the header has been pinched in in two locations here, where basically most of the skid plate took the impact. So that really protected well. The oil pan is fine. If I can get good news, everything is safe. Just the front subframe needs to be replaced here, and that front radiator support, even the front here, the top is just slightly bent from being pushed here. So when I pull this back, the front should get flat again. The actually the hood had absolutely nothing. So I'll just have to get those fenders out, fenders replaced, get the front radiator support beam here. Either I'll stretch it out, but it's pretty smooshed, so have to do something for that. And the subframe was going to be replaced by an Oswald Performance subframe anyway. Bumper beam, I have a new Oswald Performance bumper beam too, so it's going to be good timing to get that change. And even if the radiator, it got a slight bend here, but actually it didn't crack. Just there's a broken tab here. I don't know if you can see. Bottom tab got broken, but absolutely no leak, nothing. So I'll definitely keep this radiator as a spare. I'll just put a new one in to be on the safe side. But pretty lucky there. The skid plate really helped a lot, absorbing most of the impact and protecting the rest of the car.